Full disclosure, I've worked with Typeform. I know loads of people who work there, and I've been to Barcelona to visit HQ. And I'm still working off of a free plan. Suffice it to say, this is not a sponsored video. And while I do think it's an incredibly powerful tool, Typeform does have its shortcomings as well. Hi, my name's Jordan Taylor with the Corporate Training Companion, and today I'm going to walk you through how to get started with Typeform. And because there's far too many features to cover in just one video, let's jump into some of the most important basics for corporate trainers. Okay, starting with the basics. When you go to typeform.com, you will be dropped into your workspace, which will look like this. And you'll see big and bold here in the top left-hand corner, this is where you create a new form. Here in the middle, this is where you can open and edit your existing forms. And then up in the right-hand corner, you've got some settings. Let's start with creating a new form. When this opens, you've got three options: to start from scratch, import questions from Google Forms, or create with AI. So for the sake of time, let's create with AI. From here, you've got a few different options. The For All Forms option will use an AI LLM to take a prompt and write your forms out. You can also use some of these pre-made options here. For now, let's take a look at our suggestions. We've got one here: course feedback survey to improve teaching methods and materials. Let's just use that one. We hit continue. Brings you to a place where you can add specific questions if you want to do that. I'm going to skip for now and just generate our basic template. Once it generates your new form, you can navigate this screen by first cruising through the different questions that it created over here on the left-hand pane. And after I click on each question, I have a series of options in my right-hand pane that I can manipulate. If I go to how would you rate the overall quality of this course, if I needed to change the text of this, I can just highlight the text. If I wanted to add a description or additional context, I can put that in the description field. And then I've got a few different options here. I can make it required. I can change the rating scale from 0 to 10 to 0 to 5, for instance. And then I can label these to more closely mirror a Likert style question. So maybe this would be strongly disagree, agree, and strongly agree. Lastly, I can add an image. You can choose those from an image gallery. I'm going to go ahead and select this one. Once it's in, you can change the layout of that image using these boxes. You can also change the focal point of the image if you wanted to highlight something different in the image. If you want to change the entire question to a different question type, you can do that as well. And you see that you have a number of different question types here, all the way from a statement that doesn't ask a question at all to asking for a number, rating scales. Typeform does offer a lot of options for different question types. So that's editing your existing questions. To add a new question, you simply need to click on the plus add content here and go to add form elements. You have a few different recommended types, and then you've got your different categories: collecting contact info, multiple choice, ratings, text and video questions, other. Another really cool features about Typeform is how easy branching and logic are. To get to that, you're going to navigate from the content tab to the workflow tab, and then you'll see all of your questions listed right in a row. I'm going to just click and drag over to the end. I know that this question is a NPS question. Would you recommend this to others? And a good example of where branching and logic might come into play for corporate trainers is adding a rule that if they say yes, it takes them to the end. If they say no, then we can take them to a different question that asks them for more feedback as to why they would not recommend this to another person. So that's a basic use case for branching and logic. Another thing that you can do with Typeform that is really cool is that you can integrate it with a lot of other tools. So here is a long list of different categories of different tools that you can integrate Typeform with, from Google Sheets to Google Analytics. Some of these you'll note are paid, But Slack and Teams, Notion, Square, a lot of these will be tools that you will probably have in your tech stack with your current company. And then lastly, once your form is done, you can share it. From the share screen, you've got several different options for how you can share it. You could send an email with the link directly to the form. You can embed the form into an email. This is typically going to be more of a marketing style email. You can also embed this on a web page or a SharePoint site or a Google site. So, those are your basics for creating the form, updating some of the logic, connecting it with other tools, and sharing it with your audience. Let's go back to our workspace and create a new form. Again, we're going to use AI, but we want to create a quiz. So, again, I'm going to click on For All Forms. This time I'll type in my own prompt, a quiz with 10 questions and 5 options for each question, just to get us started. I won't put any specific questions in right now. And here we have it. Our new form has our 10 questions, and each one of these questions has 5 different options. And because it's a quiz, I want to add scoring, which is not an option here. So I need to go to Workflow, and I need to go to the Scoring tab. Here, I can select which is the correct answer and enter in a score. For now, we can just make option 5 our score. And then we would save it. And now each of our questions has a score. You can also use the outcome quiz option if you like. That allows you to set up different endings depending on the score earned by the person taking the quiz. So a feature that could be cool, isn't 100% necessary, but definitely useful. And again, you can connect it, you can share it, all of the same ways. And that's how you build a quiz. So last but not least, let's go back to our workspace one more time, and we'll pull up a survey that has some results. To get to the results section, you just go to the top here and navigate to the results tab. From the results tab, you've got 3 different ways that you can look at it. Insights gives you a lot more information if you are on a paid plan. You have your basic summary, which breaks down the different questions and how they were answered. And then you've got your responses where you can look at all of your responses stacked up against one another. You can also, of course, export these to Office 365 apps and then import the data into Power BI, for instance. You can easily export this to Excel or Google Sheets. There are a lot of integration options for navigating the results. So that's how to create a form, how to create a quiz, how to integrate it, how to share it, and maybe even do some branching or logic with Typeform. So there you have it. That should give you enough information to get started. And while there are a lot more features for marketers, for the most part, those are the tools that corporate trainers like us will use. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and bell icon so you get notified when weekly content comes out. My name is Jordan Taylor with the Corporate Training Companion. Until next time.